So, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. It's gonna be kind of a more on a whim. Well, not really on a whim. I've been planning it for a while. I just haven't done it yet, which I don't know why. It's been something I need to do for a while. And that is basically to say that, as I'm sure some of you watching know, I have two other channels. So, obviously, as times have changed, I've struggled to figure out what kind of content that I want to make. And I've gone back and forth on it for a while. So, one of the things that I figured out is obviously I finally come to terms with the channel you're watching this on, like the main channel, if you will. It's a wrestling channel. I may not have ever intended for it to be a wrestling channel. It was just something that I started uploading because, I've always been a fan of wrestling. So I was like, okay, that's fine, that's cool. And then that became the only thing, for the most part, that would get consistent views. Even if, we're still so small, obviously. But yeah, so that became the only thing that we got, for the most part, that got consistent views. We got some things with here and there that would get better views, like the 3 Days Grace album ranking Tyson and I did last year, and that was a lot of fun. And I know we both loved doing that quite a bit. Kind of got something in place for the retrospective, as I talked about before, and that was really cool. But like, outside of stuff like that, like the very rare one-off where something cool does happen, that you know, the very rare one-off where like we do something really cool and that pops off a little bit, and then we're rewarded for that by people being interested, commenting a lot, sharing their thoughts, in the video, just kind of getting spread around a bit. So yeah, like the main channel, I've eventually realized, as I'm rambling a bit now, I realized like this channel, the main channel, TGC, is a wrestling channel. And I won't guarantee that it'll always be wrestling related stuff. It'll still probably be any sort of geek related things that I want to make that doesn't really fit on the other two channels. But yeah, I wanted to make this video to finally talk about those other two channels and promote it here in case anyone's interested, So that's kind of what I'm going to do. So first things first, the second channel is the gaming channel for basically any sort of gameplay that's just not wrestling related. Because there'll still be some gameplay on this channel. Obviously, like Tyson and I did the My GM videos last year, which I would have loved to go back to those and finish it, but yeah, issues there, right? But no, so it sucks we didn't get to finish that, but you'll still get gameplay on this channel for sure. It'll just be primarily wrestling related gameplay, or maybe a video with snippets of gameplay here and there to kind of like illustrate my point on things. But every other type of game that I want to play for content, it'll be on TGC Gaming, which again, there's always a link in the description to both other channels. So yeah, but it'll be on there. And TGC Gaming is a thing. That's where all the other gaming stuff will happen and go. And I do have a good bit on there already. I've, of course, been doing the video remakes over there as well. And those have been a lot of fun. I finally did another one, obviously, on both this channel and the gaming channel. It's the same video, but it's a different edit, if you will. You'll get the full experience on this channel for obviously, if you haven't watched it, it's my entire physical video game collection video. You'll get the full experience watching it here. I did a lot of discussing about the wrestling games for about an hour of that video. So, yeah. But I cut that section of the video down significantly for the version on the gaming channel. So if you don't really care about that and you just want to hear, and you just want to see, okay, here's everything that I own physically video game wise, you can check it on the gaming channel. So yeah, I did that. But I have that. I've got some like year in reviews type stuff, kind of like I do on this channel yearly, but it's based more around like what have I been playing and it's going through like the PlayStation wrap. It's going through like the PlayStation wrap up, the Switch and Xbox year in reviews, stuff like that. Because I play on everything, and that's just the goal. And it's really fun, and bonus for me, it's really fun and easy content to make. So, yeah, that's a lot of fun, and that's kind of the idea there. With those, there's Mario Party 8 videos. If any of you are into Mario Party content, Tyson and I play through basically every board in Mario Party 8, and those are up on the channel already. Sadly, there's only gameplay for King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, that board, and that was the first one we did. And there's very few technical difficulties, surprisingly, in that one. But I had issues with my capture card. It stopped working. I had to get a new one, but there's something weird with that one where, like, maybe my computer's just a bit too old or not powerful enough for this new capture card. I don't know. But, yeah, issues there. So the gameplay got messed up in all of the other Mario Party 8 videos. But you still have all of the... I did some cool things with the edit and had, like, various different highlights and stuff like that throughout the episodes. And I have, like, here's our experience playing all the mini games on a board. Here's our experience just with the different... Here's our experience with the board itself, but highlighted. And then we have one board where it's basically the entire thing in one video, but it's just us, playing on the board. Everything, though, with minigames and everything. I salvaged the videos as much as I could, obviously. But yeah, there's no gameplay except for King Boo's Haunted Hideaway. But again, it's still a lot of fun to make. Tyson and I obviously enjoy playing Mario Party. And if I can figure stuff out with capture cards and recording and stuff like that, I know we would love to get together and do more of those as well. More Mario Party, more just fun game stuff in general, So that's kind of like where I sit with that one. And, but yeah, there's a bunch of fun stuff on there. I'm rambling at this point, but there's a bunch of fun stuff on there, and that's kind of the key thing to point out. And that's, just gaming stuff in general. And then my third channel was originally TGC Wrestling, where it was going to be strictly all wrestling content, and then TGC, the Geek Comrade, was going to be, my home for all geek-related things. That wouldn't be very specifically, here's me playing a game on camera, here's me talking about wrestling, or TGC Wrestling actually was intended to be specifically wrestling games, and then I can still talk about wrestling and stuff like that on this channel. Just talk about anything, But again, I talked about this in the year in review as well, 2021, 2022, something like that. One of those two. It was 2021, because 2022's year in review is like 15 minutes. Anyway, yeah, not the point. Yeah. So I talked about that in one of those, and I came to the realization, finally, of like, it's a thing. This channel, TGC, is a wrestling channel, basically. So I've been trying to figure that out, obviously, and trying to figure out what I want to do with it. And then I had the third channel being like an archive channel for a while. Trying to figure out if I wanted to do that, basically. And then I did it for a little bit, taking some other content that I wanted to go revisit and like edit again, etc. And just made some different edits, different versions of those other videos. And those videos will eventually be brought over to either the gaming channel or this channel. Obviously, actually, no, it'll only be this channel because they're all wrestling stuff from when it was TGC Wrestling. That I figured would be fine to leave on there for TGC Archives. Because I didn't actually go through and do anything else gaming-wise to throw on there. But yeah, that'll come over here eventually. And now it is... Now all of those are currently unlisted before I bring them over, and now it is TGC Radio, which was a series I started on this channel in November of last year, and it's a series basically where I just sit down and I talk about my most listened to music from week to week, and that's the whole goal. I haven't missed an episode yet. It's a lot of fun to make. I love TGC Radio a lot, and yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and I figured, it's probably worth making its own channel, because you know, it is fairly different to what most people would expect on this channel, you know. So that was the idea there, and that's kind of how I looked at it. So, yeah. So TGC Radio is his own channel. Everything's already been moved over there, and I've started doing very specific TGC Radio episodes, uploads on that channel. So that's all fine and good. I did all the work very quickly for that one. So again, if you're interested in music and you want to hear about what I like, what I listen to from week to week, what I think about new releases and stuff like that. Basically, if you're interested in music and want to know what I think about music in very specific genres and stuff like that, and if I maybe get recommendations from what I'm listening to, etc., you get the idea. If you want all of that, TGC Radio is the place, and I will be doing other content that's not TGC Radio as like a series as well. Like that series will always be a thing. I'll sit down, record it, and get those out every single Sunday, like I have been since I started. So yeah. But yeah, you know, I will also do other content as well, just because that's what I want to do. So yeah. But yeah, it will be primarily just here's some sort of music-based content. Like, I did a big video, a part of TGC Radio, right around the start of this year where I was taking a look at. So I did my week-to-week listening, talked about that, and then after that, for like the next 2 hours, I went in full depth about everything that I had listened to throughout last year. And I did that all, and I liked doing that, but one, it was a bitch to edit, because, yeah, it was awful. It was awful to edit. It wasn't awful, but it was finding out how I wanted to edit it, doing that for 2 hours, you know, and it became like a very like tedious formulaic process, because like once I figured out exactly how I wanted it, every other entry, every other album that I talked about, I needed to make sure it looked visually consistent. So yeah, it just got very tedious, and it took like all day to edit that video. So yeah, but again, it was a lot of fun, and I still enjoyed it, mainly just because, like, you know, saving grace was I like editing. So yeah, but that came out, and I was doing that, and then I'm doing that same kind of like albums project again, where like I want to sit down and primarily listen to albums that are either new to me or are brand new, and then talk about those, get all my thoughts. And I've decided to basically do that on a month-to-month basis. So I'll sit down, probably still when I'm recording an episode of TGC Radio, and then I'll just cut that section out of TGC Radio. TGC Radio is its own video, and then that'll be its own separate video that'll also go on the channel. So that's probably what I'll do. And actually, that's not even probably, that is what I'll do. I just need to finally go through and edit through the rest of that and get it out for the month of January, because I have that recorded. I just need editing, finish it. But like, you know, I'll do that. I'll do it for February, March, etc. every month, and then yeah, and I'll get those out. But yeah, overall, I'm really rambling at this point. But that's the idea. Like, so there's TDC, which is just will be primarily wrestling based stuff, probably, but it will still be in general just any sort of thing that I want to talk about and make a video on. Like, if I feel like it can't, obviously, if it's not strictly music related or it's not primarily me playing a game, it will go on this channel. But if it's me sitting down playing a game, whether it be in like a Let's Play format or some other kind of format, it'll go on the gaming channel, and then anything music related will go on TGC Radio. And you may be wondering, you may ask, what does that mean for, like, say, some of the music-based content on this channel? The videos themselves will stay up, But what I'll do is I will either basically do like a video remake like I've talked about in the past and just kind of like factor those into my plans for video remakes, really get back into making those as well. And I'll make them now how I would now, while also kind of highlighting what I said and how I felt in a very quick format back when those other videos were recorded. Or in the case of the 3 Days Grace album ranking Tyson and I did, that for sure is not going anywhere because that video has done incredibly well for us. And yeah, it's not going anywhere. And I want that video to stay on here and keep reaching new people. But what I'll probably do is I don't know how I'm going to re-edit it, but I will definitely take it as it is and re-edit it. So I don't know how I'm going to re-edit it though, but that is what I'll do. And then TGC Radio will probably just, like I said, just get like a shortened version of like the hour-long video. But then again, Tyson and I probably could try to get together and do a slightly different version of it as well, maybe. Where, like, maybe he can finally listen to Explosions, and maybe we could both just, like, make sure we revisit all of them, and then kind of, like, just refamiliarize ourselves with the 3 Days Grace records, and then make the video like that. Making sure our thoughts are 100% accurate to how we feel in that moment. We could probably also do something like that, because I know that, for the most part, I stand by what I said, but I don't entirely. Like, we talked about Saint Asonia, Adam Gonche's current project, at the end of the video, and I stand by what I said for the most part, but I do like and have an appreciation for Saint Asonia's first record a bit more than I said in the video, because I just had like a very different memory of that record from when I first listened to it. And like I've talked about that on TC Radio as well. There's a video on that channel. The album is in the thumbnail, so if you want to know, you can click on that video and get more thoughts there. But yeah, anyway, so I have different thoughts on some things, so yeah. We could do kind of like a remake, like a slightly updated version. But in saying that, it'll either be that, but it'll more than likely just be like a slightly re-edited version, to give people who might find it through my music channel, basically. Well, through my music channel, just like a different experience from what you could get from the original. I don't know how I'll do that. It might end up having to be like cutting some of the talks. I don't know how I'll do it. I'll figure it out. Anyway, like I said, I'm rambling at this point, but that's what the video's meant. That's what this video was meant to be. It was very specifically, I want to sit down and officially talk about and let everyone watching this channel know that I have 3 channels, and it's this channel. It'll be a lot of wrestling content, but also just stuff I want to talk about that doesn't fit into the other 2 channels. And then if I'm playing a game in any way, basically, as long as it's not wrestling related, it'll be on the gaming channel. And then TGC Radio is for that series, and also just at some point just all my music related content. That is the big premise of it. That's what I want to talk about. And if you are interested in anything like that, please go to the description, click on those channels, and please check them out. It would mean the world. And yeah, that's what I'll say. But like I said, I'm tired of rambling at this point. I think there's a lot of good stuff there. And again, if you're interested in other gaming content, TGC Gaming. If you're interested in music content, hearing about what I'm interested in music wise, what I've been listening to. Maybe you want some recommendations or whatever. Um, Check out TGC Radio, and then maybe also like leave some comments, start a discussion. A lot of cool stuff like that. And then this channel's also not going anywhere, and this channel's not going to really change that much. But yeah, that's all I'll say for this point. I hope hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, comment below, share up on social media, do all that good stuff. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.